sopra un mare bellissimo. È stata una...
Yes.
Yeah, that brings me on to something I wanted to ask the question about. I remember reading something some years ago. It was an incident from America, a transplant incident.
Oh yes, transplants. Yes.
Yeah, a woman had received a transplant from a victim of a road accident who happened to be a young man, and she'd never drunk. She didn't
Lager.
And yes, she wanted beer and she wanted fried chicken, which is the sort of thing she didn't.
That's right.
Would that be the spirit attaching? Or the suggestion in the article I read was that memory is somehow in some way retained in all the tissue.
Okay, that's where we get into belief systems,
Yeah.
really heavy duty. It could be that because it was a part of a living person, cellular memory would then, because the DNA collects all of this information, and then when it was passed to another person, then that cellular memory was reacting with the new cells in the body, and that was the memory. And then again, if you want to believe in a spirit, earthbound spirit attachment, it's because it was a part of a person and part of their spirit was in it, and now it was a fragment, a spirit fragment, which would be needed for, now this can be heavy duty for the person that has passed, is that in some belief systems they feel that you have to have all of your spirit to be able to continue forward, which means that if you do a transplant and part of the spirit is in that transplant, then the person that's passed can't go forward without the rest of their spirit that has to come out of the transplant. That's really complicated. I like to think that it's not that complicated, that we can do energy release therapy on that and send that part of the spirit back into the light to the spirit that's already gone forward. That's my belief system, because I just like it. I think it's wraps up things a lot nicer that way than to have to think about it. All of the transplants that are going on, we'd have maybe a third more Earths waiting around to get their part of their spirit back before they can go forward. If you believe in that type of transition, I mean, you have to believe that these spirits then are waiting for the rest of themselves to catch up to them, otherwise they can't go forward. So, but belief systems are really heavy duty, because we were discussing this earlier, that we are all unique. We really are. And the more you work with people, the more you know that. And the more techniques you learn, and the more philosophies you learn, and see where everybody's coming from every other place in life. For my own thoughts, I'm spirit in the physical. I'm in this physical body. There is no way that I can see things the same as anyone else. I'm standing in a different place. I can't hear things the same. I'm picking up vibrations from a different angle. I can't touch things the same. I can't know things the same. There isn't any way that we can be the same as someone else. And isn't it amazing that we get along as well as we do? I mean, everybody's always picking on us for not getting along. I think it's amazing that we get along at all, for being in all these separate vessels. Yes?
Is it possible that there's something about the gravitational force of the Earth that might allow another soul to attach itself? And maybe if you had a population of astronauts, for example, it might not occur. I don't know.
I don't know. I think the only way to find that out would be if you sent some astronauts up and see if they were attached or did mind fragment tests. I guess you could do that. I think one of the things that I work with on a daily basis is I don't need proof. I just do my work. When I work with people, I accept what they tell me, and I work with them in love, and I try to step into their belief system as much as I possibly can, and whatever they tell me, I believe, and that's how we work from it. And I don't need proof. I just want to do the best I can, and I know that when we're working together, we are working. This is my one thing that I do. It is my belief system. I'm working for the greatest and the highest good possible in every situation, and the most perfect and appropriate's very important, healing for the individual. 5 minutes, I'm told. Anybody else here? Yes.
With the scenario you gave of a person in the bar, like the joke, the person being hit was on the floor, in a similar scenario but involving death, where somebody's going through the initial stages of death twice, is that kind of like a similar scenario where they could absorb a spirit to actually take on board, or maybe more than one? Is that a potential?
Okay, you mean when a person is actually, let's say a person is in the war and he's been shot,
yeah, so a body
and
shutting
they could
down.
take on other spirits?
Yeah, the body's shutting down. It's basically, he's been resuscitated, been brought back by perhaps medical techniques. So effectively the body is shutting down. Does that mean it's kind of like open for...
That's trauma,
for
and
rent?
it's open, yes.
It's open for rent.
It is.
To
It is open for attachments who may want to be helpful. You see, in the hospital emergency wards, you might have a lot of spirits hanging out there, waiting for people to come in, and they think they're being beneficial. If they see someone close to death and they come in and add that energy, that could be very beneficial for the person to get them through that. But then, is it beneficial for them to have an attached spirit? Because that attached spirit then is helping to make the decisions in that person's life. And my thought is that every person should have their own decision making up to them and their higher self, and shouldn't be interfered with. But that's just my thought on it. It could be if the spirit joins someone to help save them, why shouldn't they get to stay?
Thanks.
Okay, well, thank you very much. It's really been a pleasure. It's been a great audience, lots of questions. That's good.
Battaglia persa, niente che mi tira su, nemmeno un'ora di violenza che consoli e letto, gli occhi sopra le nuvole.